Welcome to Wednesday, June 4th, 2025. Your podcast this morning brought to you by ConverseCountyTourism.com. Feel the energy of Converse County. Explore Douglas's Railroad Heritage, Ayers Natural Bridge, and the Jackalope Legend. Glen Rock boasts scenic trails, dinosaur history, and small town charm. Plan your visit at ConverseCountyTourism.com. Well, certainly summer off to a slow start in terms of at least the first week of June here, as evidenced by snow-covered Pikes Peak. We've got some other snow pictures here to show you. Early June snow in the mountains happens frequently. This is nothing terribly unusual, but we're just not jump starting in the summer, which isn't a bad thing. Slow starts the summer helps you retain moisture that you had over the spring. It doesn't evaporate away so very quickly. So I know a lot of you might be a little impatient, but it'll get here eventually. Now, what we're going to see will be those cooler temperatures through Friday, as we'll show you here in a moment. In the warmer areas where there's going to be enough instability, there will be scattered showers and thunderstorms, just good old-fashioned rain showers in other areas. Some of you in central Wyoming and eastern Wyoming experiencing a little bit of rain overnight. Now, temperatures will begin to rebound this weekend. So starting this weekend into early next week, it starts to feel like, well, June again. Temperatures start to warm up, but we're not there yet in terms of that semi-permanent high-pressure ridge that you start to see building over the south central United States during the summer months. We're not quite there yet, and we'll show you that here in a moment. Another snow picture. David reports nearly 7/10 of an inch of moisture, and then look at that snow over the mountains near Leadville. Pretty significant spring snows up there. So the snow got down pretty far south in latitude here over the last several days. Another shot of the northern lights, the aurora borealis, showing up a night ago. So we still are in a geomagnetic storm. It's weak, but it's still an active sun and will be as we head into summer. Near the Pine Ridge there of South Dakota, of the building clouds ahead of the storms that developed over the last couple of days. And then here's another picture of cold air funnels. We showed you the ones in the Bighorns yesterday that happened a week ago. These happened yesterday morning, near Wright in northeastern areas of Wyoming. So the moist, unstable atmosphere that you get in the spring, just a really good indication it's moist top to bottom when you see situations like this. And then multi-layered colored clouds there near Payson, Utah, on top of a mountain, checking out a transmitter site there. As we take a look at the green grass and the foliage, you might be going, well, that's in somebody's pasture. That's out in somebody's backyard or North 40. No, this is in the red desert. Wild horses there. Look at that green grass and the leaves coming out. So yes, the red desert has oases like this all the time in places. So beautiful shot there. The satellite image this morning still shows a fair amount of moisture stuck down here in the Four Corners area with a remnant area of low pressure. We have a little trough still hanging back up here over northern Montana and Wyoming, while high pressure is building in California and the Pacific Northwest. So basically, it's right along and near the Continental Divide here where the moist air and the instability is going to still sit. Things just aren't moving very quickly. So this particular air mass right here is just going to kind of hang around through Friday. And we have a variety of weather watches and warnings in the western United States. You don't see this very often in June. Those green areas are flood watches. Those red areas are flood warnings for parts of, look at this, the Las Vegas area, northwest Arizona, the deserts of California, getting some June precipitation. And we showed you that yesterday. And then up here, what is that purple? Well, that's a winter weather advisories for snow up into the high Beartooth Mountains and the cool, wet weather that we have right now across many areas. This is why we have this broad trough, large. If you look at the scale of this trough, it really covers a lot of territory here in the western United States. The high pressure is trying to nose in to the western areas, but just going to stay under this pattern. It's not strong, but in June, you just keep moist, unstable air in place, and you're just going to kind of recycle the weather. By Friday, the trough weakens a little bit, But we also have a piece of energy. This little wave comes through. So this is going to bring an uptick in thunderstorm activity on Friday. Friday is going to be a busy day as it gets a little bit warmer. We have potentially another opportunity for some strong thunderstorms Friday afternoon and evening that we'll need to keep an eye on. Now here's the high that starts to build as you get into the beginnings of summer. And you just want to see it expand north and expand east-west a little bit as you get to the middle to the end of June. And that's going to likely happen. But until then, we're going to still have this pattern that's going to be somewhat unsettled. This is by Sunday. The high pressure builds along the west coast a little bit. Notice the high shifts westward for a time being. But with the trough going more towards south central Canada, we will see warmer air that's here right now spread more eastward and getting east of the Continental Divide as we get into the weekend. So if you want some summer warmth, that's when you get it. Because you're not getting it today. These are the temperature anomalies for today. So you can see the coolness. This is for tomorrow, and then this is for Friday. So you can see that the coolness today is pretty pervasive. Now it starts to warm up in the Pacific Northwest, Central and Northern California, but look at the desert states. And look at the Central and Southern Rockies and the Central High Plains. It's just going to remain cool. That's through Friday as well. Far below average temperatures for the first week of June. But the heat you see building, the brighter colors up here, you're getting this arch of warmth around the core of cool right here. And that's a typical pattern that you see. This axis of warmth will spread more east. There it is. So by Saturday, that air gets over the divide, and it's going to feel more like summer as we get into the start of the upcoming weekend. Now, to step you through the shower and thunderstorm pattern here over the next several days, this is going to be an area where you're just going to recycle the weather. That's why you have flood watches in effect for areas down here, because the pattern is kind of stagnant. You're just going to repeat afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms in that region. Now, it doesn't mean it won't rain up here. It's just that you're going to get more in the way of just garden variety rain showers. These brighter areas is where the lightning strike potential is going to be a little bit heavier. So this is today, this is tomorrow, this is Friday. So notice there's a real consistency here in those areas where the showers and thunderstorms are going to be. But the axis starts to move a little more north tomorrow, a little bit more north on Friday. So would not be surprised, especially in this area, for some strong thunderstorms Friday afternoon and evening. Then as we get into Saturday, as the high pressure expands and that warmer air comes over, also drier air punches in right here, the axis of thunderstorms is more like here. The drier air comes in, so thunderstorm activity will drop off. But a lot of this moisture will make a return flow back by early next week, bringing thunderstorms back into the mix, and that starts on Sunday. So you can see on Sunday, the thunderstorms start to surge northward again and get pretty pervasive along the Colorado Front Range, parts of Wyoming, and even going back into parts of the Great Basin here and up even into Northern California. Looks like a busy Sunday down into the panhandles, eastern areas of New Mexico. When we take a look at the precipitation between now and Sunday, again, don't focus on the numbers, just focus on the areas where the colors are the brightest to show you where the tendency for the rain chances to be the highest. Don't focus so much on the amounts. But you can see that even though there won't be a lot of thunderstorm activity up here, there's going to be showers, weak thunderstorms, then the heavier thunderstorms in the darker colors down here where it's going to be a little bit warmer. The Pacific Northwest, not bringing in any moisture, so areas will be drier there. When we go out and take a look at next week's weather, this is by next Wednesday. What I want to highlight for you here is that we still have lows coming in off the Pacific, and we still have a weak but large troughiness coming back in. So by the middle of next week, it's not going to be terribly cold. It won't be as cool as it is now, but it's also not going to get, let's say, persistently very warm. Yes, there will be warm days, but not settling in with the warmth. And this high pressure ridge right here kind of gets split up a little bit and will then have to rebuild. And that's likely going to be probably about a week after that or several days after the 11th. So it's those third and fourth weeks of June when summer looks like it'll start to build across the U.S. Until then, still some ups and downs and still the pendulum swinging. Have yourself a great Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow.